Welcome to another episode of the Millionaire Podcast. I'm here with
Daniel
from VTUF, and he's just going to show us some products that we're here at the expo that we're promoting and some different things I'm sure you'll be interested in. So do you want to show us which one we're going to first?
Yeah, we can go over here.
Let's do it.
So this is a new machine of ours.
Okay.
It's the Torrent 3 RX. It is actually built with the Lonson engine. So this is actually what we would class as a well-priced machine.
Yeah.
Although it may not look well-priced, it actually is.
Okay.
It's got obviously fully stainless steel.
Yeah.
Machine is mounted on rubbers, so less vibration, everything. The pump is nickel-plated. The head is... So at VTUF, what we do, we look at the long term.
Right.
We're not here to make a quick buck. We want every customer that buys VTUF to be a partner long term.
Yeah.
And we want the machine to solve common pain points in the market. So when you've got a property cleaner, we've been doing networking with thousands of actual people that are in the role to find out what annoys them, what could we do better, just those little niggles that every day
definitely
make your job take longer, or
is it
takes that frustration.
Key start or is
key
it
start?
It's key start. Well, that's my big pet peeve with them. I really hurt my arm trying to do a pull start.
Yes.
And so I have key start ones.
That's right.
So if that's key start,
yes,
definitely.
So there's that with key start, but then you could also just have it strapped down in the van, leave it in the van next to the door, so you don't even have to take the thing out.
Perfect.
That's the
beauty with
key start. But yeah, it's a 14 horsepower Lonson on this one. We've been doing Lonson for years now. Obviously, our go-to is Honda, but it has got a 3-year warranty on the Lonson engine.
Okay.
So you're getting about 270 bar at 15 litres a minute on this machine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And 15 litres a minute is enough to do what we would do is clean it, like roof cleaning.
That's it. Yeah.
Patios,
some people
driveways.
prefer 21 litres a minute, so you can do it with the 21 litres a minute. The beauty with 15 litres a minute, obviously you can't do it on every tap, but you have the option to use it off a tap if you've got the 3/4 hose on it.
Definitely. Awesome.
Yeah.
So just treat me as though I don't know anything. Is this petrol or diesel?
Petrol.
Petrol?
Yeah.
Okay. Which is good because we can't get any diesel at the moment, can we?
A diesel would fit in there. So we have got, it's called the Torrent 5.
Yeah.
Same frame, just a diesel engine, makes more noise.
Do you know the rough price point on this?
This will be around about just over £1,000. This one. Yeah.
That's not bad.
No.
Not bad at all.
No.
Yeah, and there's a little show discount on there as well, so get that in there.
Yeah, and then you've got a little scan me up there.
QR code up there.
Yeah.
And it's that sold on the website anyway.
That's it, it's all on the website.
Well, enough on that one?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Cool.
It looks good. It's VTUF Torrent. I like that. Torrent 3.
Yeah.
Look at that just before. I saw this yesterday and I thought this was really smart. That is a plastic. It's plastic, isn't it?
No, this is, yeah.
A surface cleaner. You could use on a roof quite easily.
It's
but
really
it's
hard plastic.
Solid.
Yeah,
I was
solid
trying to... You can't really explain it on the camera, but it's really solid. Everything about it is really well made. Whereas, and is it a cheaper price point than?
Oh, way cheaper, yeah.
Yeah.
It's less than half, yeah.
Less than half
of that. We love this product.
Yeah.
But if someone's starting out, definitely go for that.
Great, awesome little bit of kit.
Yeah.
Right, let's have a look at these gutter vacs, which as my window cleaning company, we bought 2 of these yesterday. Okay. So we bought 2 of the little one here. So what's this one called?
It's the GCX 4000.
So what kind of you could use that on the house to do house guttering?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So
what's the advantages of something like that over one of the big boy?
Well, basically they all have the same motors.
Right.
This one's only got one, so it's a 1700 watt motor or 1750.
Yeah.
And that's just got one. You don't always need those 2 motors when you're sucking gutters out.
No.
When I've been doing it myself, I quite often only have one because obviously it depends how clogged up the gutters are.
Yeah.
But you got that. It's small but mighty. It's got plenty of power there.
Awesome.
I don't think you'd miss the 2
And
motors.
that comes as a package, so you get like is it 20 foot of poles? So
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, 20-foot poles.
We do a 40-foot option, but we just normally sell it with 20-foot
because most people have a two-story house in it.
Two-story
is what
house.
they would be cleaning.
I think for a two-story house, you only use 3 of those anyway.
Cool. And do you want to just get a pole?
Yeah.
Because obviously we've talked to other people today, and we have other kits and things like that. But when my operations manager picked this up yesterday, he was like, "This is nice. It was nice feel to it."
Yeah.
Right. And the clamps and stuff like that, because the clamps it was an expensive pole when you put clamps on it.
Yeah.
You know, go to the bigger companies here.
Yeah.
You know, you get a set of these, it was going to be much more expensive.
Okay.
But this is a good price point as well, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
So, VTUF.
Oh no. We'll just do that 1 minute silence for Ryan. Let's do it. Welcome to another mini episode of Dirt Millionaire Podcast. I'm here with Ellis Marshall from Handlet. Is that right?
That's right.
That's
Handlet.
not bad, eh? So, Ellis, tell me why you should pour me a pint. That's why I'm here, mate. That's why we're here. Tell me what Handlet is or does or will be doing.
Thanks, James. So, Handlet, we're a software company, but basically we're helping to alleviate the admin load that we have in kind of service-based businesses.
Yeah.
So, my background, I've actually been doing exterior cleaning for the last 10 years, but we've always got those kind of pain points where we're having to come in, we're having to deal with after the tools, all the stuff that's, piled up during the day, quotes, replies, all that come piling in. And so we're losing jobs, and basically we thought, well, is there something that can do this? And there is, with the technology that we have. And so that's what Handlet does. Basically it handles, instant replies, following up those leads, picking up the phone for when you're on the tools, and it uses a series of workflow automations and AI to achieve that.
So the AI comes in when, I can't answer it, or because it's automated.
It's automated, yeah. So look, AI's got a bit of a hype about it. Obviously, it's new technology, and everybody feels like or learns about it, and we know that we want it, and it can do bits for our business. But at the same time, we've got to be careful with it, and there's some horror stories that have happened because of AI. So we're making sure that we put in the guardrails and some rigid automation workflows. Where it's just hard code, but then we use AI also to kind of give it superpowers. And not only that, but also know your business, because that's what we want. We want to keep, as our business scales, we want to be able to keep that kind of being true to ourselves, what our business is. If you're a family-run business, or if you're a multi-van company, with a professional image, AI is great at learning that. It's great at seeing the patterns that it can pick up in your business, how you operate, how you do things, and then it emulates that when replying to your customers.
When I was speaking to you yesterday, I thought it was a good point that you said that, because I've been doing it 20 years, like you said, long time, and you get a little bit complacent with how you deal with customers, right? Someone comes in and you just go, oh, it's £25 every month or whatever every other month, instead of what you did 20 years ago, where you go, dear sir, and all that.
Yeah, we
nice
used to kind of spend our time, didn't we, to kind of, we got our first customer, and you're just happy that someone's actually asked you to help provide a service to them, and you kind of scrutinise over the message. But when you're 20 years later, you've got you're overflowing with work, and then someone messages in and they haven't even given you all the information that you need to even give a quote. So what this does, it kind of just, by the point that it comes to you, you've already got the information you need. If you've already got a pricing matrix in place, you can just use that to automatically reply. Some people want the level of control though, where all kind of finalised quotes still go through them, which I completely get, and I myself would want that. So what happens then is, once all the information is collected, the first point of contact for you as the business owner would be just the needed information presented, all the information of the actual property, what the service that they want, frequency, etc. You can just look at it, either say, that's the recommended price of 30 quid, XYZ, whatever, or you might amend it. But then it just is able then to take the information, send it back in a polished up message in your kind of style, and everybody's a winner.
But it runs alongside
you.
ads.
Runs alongside your ads,
So at the moment, I'm a dinosaur with tech, right? So I had someone doing my Meta ads for me, or I was buying leads through someone else,
Yep.
online canvassing. I'm not doing that anymore, and I thought I'd do it for myself.
Yep.
And it's a minefield because all this stuff's coming through, and I've got to kind of handle it. Like yesterday, 9 leads came through from Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, great, but I ain't got the time to do it. So this will take care of that.
Yeah. So again, there's software out there that is really good at funneling already.
Yeah.
And that's why we're doing that as well. We're funneling it. I think one of the core things that we're trying to offer is that AI is brilliant at taking information and recognizing patterns that maybe we do get subconsciously, but it would be hard for us to explain to another employee, or if you had to hire a member of staff.
Yeah.
So the way that it would work is that you get onboarded, where you give the information or context of your business, and it can either scrape information from your website, understand services and the type of style that you have. But then, just like you would do with a member of staff if you employed them, there would be a learning curve over a period of time, and that's what AI can do as well. Over a period of time, it learns how you run your business, and so AI is going to inevitably get better and better. And so, really, then what will happen, and what we hope will happen over a period of time, is you'll be able to delegate more responsibility to the AI, because the difficult thing is obviously every person that you employ, you might employ someone who's running your phones or your front of house. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then there's a learning curve with that. And then you might think, right, I want to do better in marketing or social media. And you can either take that on yourself, which a lot of people do, or they try and give it to someone else who's working in the office because it's more convenient, they're at a desk. But it doesn't mean that they're necessarily the best person to do it. Mm-hmm. And they might also need to learn again from scratch.
Yeah.
Or you have to hire someone in who's specialist to do it. Again, more money. AI is able to just take information that you have already given it. It inherently is an expert at many things anyway, and it can just whip up another version of itself to handle that part.
Right.
So that's where the real kind of value comes later on, is it'll become like a partner to you. That's why we got in there. It's an assistant, really.
Yeah.
You can stay in control.
Yeah.
But you get to have the ability or the value of having almost like the best employee.
Good. Is there anything that differentiates you between? We're at this expo today. Obviously, there's other companies without naming them that are doing similar things.
I can't speak. I mean, I can't speak for what maybe other companies can and can't do, and I don't want to bore people with going into deep technical stuff. But again, so I'm not making a slant on anyone.
No.
But what I don't want it to be like is just a glorified chatbot.
Right.
We had chatbots on websites like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They just got a lot smarter because of large language models and being able to plug them in. AI has got the ability to do so much more than that, and what it comes down to is getting your company information, recording that data and what you plug into it, and storing that in the best way possible for a large language model to actually retrieve later on and make sense of it, because they think differently to how we think about things. Even the people that are making these large language models or AI agents admit that they don't completely understand the process that's going in to when they're training them. All they know is that they put in an input and they tell it what a good output is, and it makes its way. And it might not even be the way that we'd ordinarily do things as a human. Like we might take a different path, but the AI finds a different way of doing things, but to achieve the same or a better outcome. And that's where it brings the value in for your business.
That's all my beer, no one else.
You paid for that.
And I suppose with the automated bit, so if I get a lead at 3 o'clock in the morning, which I did the other day, come in through Meta, it will deal with it. It
will deal with it, yeah. So it'll go through, first of all, it would have to detect what the intentions is, because every message that comes in is different. Some people who knows why at 3 a.m, but wants to know...
Night shift, could be on a night shift or something.
Yeah, no, that's true. So wants to know what the best prices are for something or the service that you offer. Or maybe they're just checking in about an existing clean that they've got scheduled and they just want some clarification.
Yeah.
First step is to understand what the intention is. Once that's done, it can then move into the next process, which is either providing a price, getting more information, escalating it maybe to you if it's something that touches on, you know, more of a serious outcome. If it's something like a legal matter, I'm not saying that you've got anything like that coming down the line, James, but if there's something that, you know, you'd want definitely first-hand knowledge of, you can have the process that it comes straight to you. So yeah, all it is just taking the day-to-day, you know, inconveniences.
I've just seen that today. Your digital office assistant for trades.
Yeah.
It says it all, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And you know, I know that I value it with my own business, and it's not just me. You know, so I've got one of the guys that works with it is Jay as well, and his background isn't like our industry. He's not from the cleaning industry. He actually works enterprise, so his job's going into big companies, and they provide him like large data sets of information, because obviously they can get a large amount of information, and he makes sense of it. So they'll provide it to him, and his job is to basically say, this is what it means, this is what you should change, this is the effects that it could have, and this is how you can boost sales, profits, etc. So combined, as well as we've got paid developers to actually build this thing. Yeah, we're doing all right, you know, and that's why we've got what we've got here today. You know, we're a software company, so we don't have any physical products, but the vibe is...
You got beer though, so...
We've got beer, we've got basketball, and, you know, we love doing what we do when it's not tipping it down and chucking down snow and, you know, gale force winds. But when you get home, you just want to, you know, actually relax or be able to spend time with the family or chill.
Nice announcement over the end of the podcast.
Yeah, no, I think we've got a minute's silence now.
Right, we'll quickly end it. Just tell them the website or which way they
can find out more information at handlit.ai. Please feel free to visit, get on the wait list. We'd love to help you out.
Also, and Dirt Millionaire and PCS are on that too, so stay tuned.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Thanks, pal. Wally.
How you doing?
Get out whatever you need.
Don't worry about it, we're looking good.
You're looking good, Darren. You lost any more weight? You look like you have.
I'm at 7 stone.
Wow.
So
yeah, man.
I'm not quite sure where that is on the greatness scale.
I was losing weight and then I came here.
So, what are we going to talk about?
Well, I've seen lots of stuff today. I ordered from you yesterday. I bought one of those valves that you put at the top of the scaffold.
Pole valves.
Very good.
Yeah. Safety.
Very good.
Safety first.
They do. I've seen another one like that today, but
everybody's had a go at copying.
Yeah. Agreed.
Weirdly, none of them have done it better.
No.
So considering ours was a version 1 and we're about to do it, you might even have a version 2 when it comes.
Okay.
None of the others that saw what we did and then decided to do it better have done it better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely. And even took yours and put it on their scaffolding over there.
I know, they've been playing with it all day. It's been funny.
So how's Expo been?
Yeah, it's just a good social event, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, I think that for those people that come to buy stuff, I think that window cleaning is where you're at with a little bit of jet wash stuff. But it's a good place to come and touch and feel.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's where you come, touch, feel, meet everybody, catch up with all the people you talk to on social media. You know what I mean? It's a nice... For me, this isn't a sales event.
No.
And I think that people that come expecting it to be a sales event are the ones that are disappointed.
Yeah.
Those that turn up expecting it to be a great social, meet the people, meet the stuff, they have a brilliant time.
Yeah.
They have a fantastic expo.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, I spent some money yesterday. So, whoa. You said you had no beer left. I've got to drive home.
I can't drink. I've got to tow that big trailer.
I'll have one. Thank you.
Oh, come and have it there. There you go. Right. Okay. Yes, it's as you can see, it's a great social event.
Yeah, I'm driving and drinking sensibly.
Obviously.
Sensibly. I've been here since early doors.
So what did you buy?
Well, we're predominantly window cleaners, so I bought a lot of window cleaning bits, the little bits and stuff.
There's lots of the little bits here, because you can touch them, you can see what they are.
Yeah, exactly. And now we're getting more and more vans. We've got a dedicated roof van now, so this is why I buy stuff from you.
Awesome.
And we've got 2 pressure washers going in the same van.
That's cool.
Like a bit like what Jake Smout's doing. I think he spent a lot of money on that though, isn't he? So It wasn't with you, was it? No, I just realised.
No. His local supplier.
Yeah.
I think it was a free job.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good go from PWSAS as their foray into doing bespoke stuff. It was nice to see.
Yeah.
Jake did the right thing going to his local guy. I'd always recommend to anybody, seek out your local guys, because they're the ones that are going to have to fix it when it goes wrong. And they're a good, solid company. They're approved by everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we're going to come and see you anyway to put that in the van.
Yeah.
Because we've got the stuff, but you're getting good at fitting stuff now.
We've been doing it for a good number of years.
Exactly. So there's nothing I can throw at you.
And what you'll see, if you watch our socials and assume that about 60% of what leaves us, people take pictures of.
Yeah.
That's on video, Mr. Smith. So about 60% of the stuff that leaves us goes on social media for various reasons.
Yeah.
You can see how busy we've been.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely. And you don't have to worry about the whole touching electricity above your head, because we're not, apart from roof cleaning.
Do you want me to tell you the only thing that disappoints me about that is the suppliers of that kit should have been doing that discounted or cheap from the start. They shouldn't wait until somebody is injured to suddenly do here's a discount code, buy from us. That's bad practice. Shame on all of you, right? Shame on all of you, right? It is not a marketing opportunity.
No.
Right? It shouldn't be treated as such.
No, definitely
right?
not.
They should be discounted because they're a safety measure from the get-go.
Yeah.
Even subsidised by the rest of the poles that run the stand.
I'll tell you something, and not learn, it's just...
1 second. If the van's done, yes. Okay, I can manage this. Okay, it's all right. Everybody's leaving.
It's all good. I caught Darren right at the end of the day.
They're grumping at me. Do you know where that's going, Jeff? Okay. In a minute, I'm going to have to go and help him put that bit of kit on.
You're fine. That's a nice alpha system, that is.
That's a customer's, 3 years old.
Really?
It's back in because they haven't put in a different van.
Yeah.
The one that was coming here, Jeff fitted Wednesday. Customer found out it was done and moved their fitting forwards.
Right.
Exciting stuff.
Definitely. Going back to the pole thing and the reason that people... I've not learnt it, I've just forgotten it over the years, right? When I started 20 years ago in cleaning windows, we had complete fiberglass poles.
Yeah.
Right? Really bendy, really heavy, horrible to work with, right? But don't conduct electricity. Yeah. So now all the pole manufacturers are putting 1 or 2 on the bottom of their poles and making them heavier, but they're fiberglass, so they're safer, right?
Yeah.
But fiberglass is a lot cheaper, you know that, than so they shouldn't be more expensive.
I'm not going to get into slagging them off. I don't like.
And I don't want to slag anybody off either.
I just don't like the fact that off the back of somebody dying, suddenly a load of discount codes have popped up.
Yeah.
That's bad practice.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like. And we saw it and we're like, that's a bit crass.
And Jason's accident was windy clean pole. Ryan's was not. Ryan was on the top of a scaffold, or bringing his scaffold down.
So what's that all about then?
No, his bottom of his, he took it out of his foot pedal, his pole hose. It wrapped around the electricity thing and then electrocuted. This is what I heard. Electrocuted the entire
So if
tower.
he'd have had a pole valve, so his hose was attached to a pole valve, it wouldn't have happened. If that was a true story.
Yeah, if that's right, yeah.
I don't know. I saw it and I just thought, because we'll do something to donate and we'll support the cause.
I've done it. Yeah,
it's a worthy cause.
Yeah.
But I just haven't enjoyed it. If it's a safety measure, just deal with it as a safety measure. But in a minute, I am going to have to go. You know.
No, so very quickly then, is there anything that you are doing for safety for pressure washing side?
So apart from we're modifying the pole valve
to
make it more universal.
Yep.
I've not looked at the next level of innovation. So generally, everything for pressure washers to do with health and safety has already happened.
Yeah.
Because it's long established.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying the window cleaning isn't, but the technology with it has changed, like you touched on with the different poles. So they need to re-establish what is and isn't safe, which is part of the different poles at different areas.
Definitely.
But no, with the jet wash stuff, apart from we've been spending a lot of time with customers and properly risk assessing what they're doing and then finding solutions to, so the pole valve was one of them. Upper scaffold type, you risk assess that with a hose. There's no way your risk assessment should say, wrap my hose around the tower. That is a trip hazard, you're waiting to get dragged off the back. That shouldn't happen. You need some way of locking your hose to the tower.
I like that you're taking the weight out of the hose as well.
And that, yeah.
Because you're not using the foot pedal or whatever
Exactly
it is.
that, just have a little link hose, away you go.
Yeah,
so
plug and play.
I think, and the reason why this corner of the business isn't like that is because at the moment it's relatively unregulated.
Yeah.
Now, if it was regulated, which I don't think is a good idea, right, for many reasons, there'd be loads of people out of business and everything would be too expensive, right? But at minimum, the guys that are doing it should educate themselves on doing proper risk assessments on what they're doing.
Definitely.
And they should be risk assessing every job that they do.
And when you get more and more staff, it becomes such a headache.
It's mandatory. Mandatory.
Yeah. I know you got to go. Thank you very much.
Go. Cheers, guys.
Take care.
There you go, mate.
Really, mate. Thank you very much.
The faces that were pulling.
Thank you, mate. All right. Thank you for your support. Cheers. Good luck. You got your cut?
Yeah.
You got, yeah.
Cheers.
I believe that is on. So, welcome to an episode of Dirt Millionaire podcast.
Thank you for having me on. Pleasure.
How are you?
I'm all right.
Good. We spoke yesterday briefly, but
you did.
You did the seminar yesterday.
Yes. Yep.
What do you think the main point that you brought to the seminar?
Well, I think the main point is highlighting the awareness and the dangers of overhead power lines and what this can do to you and the damage it can do to you if you hit one or it arcs across.
Yeah. I'm sure people know your story, but just tell people quickly what did happen to you.
Okay.
Whistle top story.
Yeah, I'll keep this brief. But so it was a Saturday morning. It was 2 years ago on the 6th of April 2024. I was on my very last job. I can remember rightly. I was on my last window, and I had some power lines behind me, about 3 meters. And I finished cleaning the window, and when I brought that pole off the window, because to bring the pole down, I reached up this hand on the carbon fibre section, and this hand was on a semi sort of insulated section. And what had happened is, according to GS6 guidelines, the line behind me was a 33,000 volt line,
right,
and you're meant to be 3 meters distant to prevent a flashover.
Right.
But 9 times out of 10, when you're looking at your pole and you're bringing it down, your attention's on the clamps. So as I've done that and come down, I'm not looking where that. What it's done, it's come into 2.6 meters, and as soon as that hand hit the carbon fibre bit, I completed the circuit and it flashed across and found a shorter route through me, down through me, and out of my feet, and it blew me 8 feet across the garden.
And you were saying yesterday, why did it not kill you? Because it didn't go near your heart.
Yeah, it's quite simple really. So if you look at how electricity works, the higher the voltage, the further a line can jump and push the current. And as soon as you apply any resistance, so on an insulated section, you're basically creating resistance because it's fiberglass and it's a very non-conductive material.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I'm here today and I've still got my hand today is because when that voltage was pushing the current through my body, instead of it trying to go through my heart, that was creating resistance. So it changed the route of the current. So it stopped it from coming across my heart, and in the end it went down that way and then out of my feet. And if it wasn't for this hand being on that section, I wouldn't be here talking to you today. And and this is why it's so important. You know, the equipment that we use on a daily basis is so important, but what people got to remember is this is our last line of defence. And I always try to advocate and teach people that looking out, looking at your surroundings, looking at the dangers on the job, and making sure that we're getting the correct distances to prevent this happening. And that is the most important bit, and then we go on to the tools that we use, because that's your last line of defence if we get it wrong.
But the campaign
Yes,
is just raising awareness for people to check what they're doing first.
exactly.
So I and my business partner put about £10 between us, right? We're doing, because of what happened to you and Paul Ryan, we're doing training courses. Hopefully you're going to come and speak to my lads
Absolutely.
soon and just keep drilling that message in.
Yes.
Because they're not looking, before all this happened, they're going to the job and they just do it. Just don't think about it.
I think as window cleaners and exterior cleaners, we're all focused on cleaning and doing the job.
Yeah.
We're not. We don't know what we don't know, and we don't think about power lines. If you don't know, you just don't think about it. You don't look at. And this is all part of what I'm doing, and we've all been forced to come off our ladders because of falls.
Yeah.
And then to replace the falls, we replaced it with high reach pole equipment. But now we've got high reach pole equipment, there's a hazard in the air of overhead power lines. It's gone from trying to solve one problem, and now we've got another problem.
And do you think that it's more of the equipment needs to change, or legislation needs to change, or training needs to change, or all three?
I think it's all three, to be honest.
Okay.
The problem with our industry, anybody can get into it with no experience. You can literally pack up your job tomorrow, go and buy a cheap pole, not knowing what pole to get, with no experience, a full carbon fibre pole. You'll go out, go and get your cheap backpack, as we do, go out and you haven't got a clue, and then how dangerous is that?
Yeah, extremely, really.
That's like me going out being a plumber and trying to work on gas with not having a clue what I'm doing, and then doing something wrong and going and blowing yourself up.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. What I would like to see in the industry, whether we can make it happen or not, is I think the industry needs at least a day's course or training to teach you the basics of how to clean it, how to clean a window, how to use a pole safely and efficiently, and then half a day into a classroom, this is the dangers we got to look out for. This is what happens if we do this, etc., etc. You get a little certificate, and then you prove that before you buy a pole.
Yeah.
I think that's the right way.
I think that at the moment, for my lads, because they've done it, we go out and we do something a little bit different, like a roof clean or a driveway and something, and we put some chemical down. We get chemical on our skin or on our clothes, and it burns the clothes, or it gives you itchy skin and burns your skin or whatever. And then you go, oh no, I need to find out how to do this properly and how to do this chemical properly. But I think that, like you said, that same, it needs to happen for window cleaning and exterior cleaning before that happens.
It does.
So because you can't make a mistake with the electricity, like you can make a mistake with biocide, it needs to happen first. So I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I agree. Something has to change. We're doing. This is not just what we do. I've got MPs involved. We're trying to go from the top down. We're trying to get a certain standard into the poles that we use, because look, I could preach to people and say, you need to be wearing your gloves, you need to be looking up, you need to be wearing your dielectric boots, but we're human. Sometimes we're in a rush. That'd be all right. I'll be fine. We're ignorant, and it's like, the best way I can explain it, it's like driving a car. When cars first came out, we never had airbags, ABS, but the reason why they put them in is because incidents happen, and it's there to protect you, and the safety is built into the product. And if you're a bit ignorant on the day and you do make a mistake, then thank God there's something there that's going to hopefully increase the percentage of you going home to your family.
Yeah.
So something has to be put in place. And I've been doing this now for a good, just over a year, and the progress that the industry has made is quite frankly phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it really has. It is getting traction now,
Definitely.
And people are more aware of this stuff.
Well, we got all new poles. We make poles as well, and we're putting all the installation and everything on first two sections. Going forwards, all the lads are trained up like that, and it's because of you and what happened to Ryan, and we just don't want to have it again.
Well, that's it. That's the aim,
So you're doing really well with this, mate. Because I see it all the time.
Look, from the bottom of my heart, I don't want anybody going through what I did. You know, and quite frankly, it's just changed my life forever. It's changed my life forever.
Yeah.
You know, and it's so easy. And excuse the pun, and I use it a lot. In a flash. In a flash. Was I ignorant? Probably.
Well, I think we all were.
We're all ignorant. We're all humans. I mean, we all think that it never happened to us until it bloody does. And when it does, excuse my language, it's too late. And now I've got to live with this now.
Yeah.
But I'm going to turn my mistake into a positivity and try to educate you guys that it's really serious. You know, it's serious stuff. I just don't want you guys going through what I did and what my family did, and yeah.
Because people don't think about that bit. You know, like your mum and dad and your family around you. You know, have gone through it as well, haven't they?
That's it. You know, I dread to think when I was in that hospital bed in a coma, what was going through my family's head and my wife's head. Are they ever going to see their son again?
Yeah.
Are they ever going to see their husband again? Are the kids going to ever see their dad again? You know, and it really, for something so simple and what I'm trying to preach and educate, it's really important.
Definitely.
Really important.
Well, mate, thank you very much. Look, I really appreciate you.
Thank you for inviting me on.
Coming
honestly,
on
for a quick chat.
So when you come and speak to my lads at the office, we'll film it and we'll put it on the podcast as well.
Absolutely.
And then you can say like this, you know, this is what you're doing.
Yeah.
The seminar yesterday, I got my lads to listen to it as well. So you're doing a great job, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Keep up the good work.
Cheers.
Lovely.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Look at that. Welcome to another episode of Dirt Millionaire Podcast. We're at the Expo with Chris Addis. I got it right, didn't I?
Yeah, I do.
You're helping on one of these stands today.
I am.
So,
I'm helping on my friend Patrick on Emerald. He's got himself a nice little stand set up over here.
Lovely.
And he's got some good poles and equipment.
Yeah. We're going to have a look around in a second with the camera.
For sure.
But you were just telling me about you just got your fourth van.
Yes, mate. Yeah. So we've. I started obviously, as you know, when you get to like 3 vans, you're at the point where if something goes wrong, there's very little in the way of backup.
Yeah.
So if a van goes down, you're like, right, okay, I've got to put 2 guys in one van. And, and it all kind of unbalances a little bit. We've got the 4th van now, and it's just so much more reliable and chill now. I've got 3 vans out full time. The 4th van is like my little pootling vehicle that I can go and give quotes in. And so you know, it's not a workhorse as such, but it can be drafted in if it's needed. Sort of thing. So
and are you off the tools?
More or less. I mean, to be honest with you, I wish I was off the tools a bit more. One of our guys has recently recovered from a broken leg. Nothing to do with us. He hurt himself.
He fell off a roof.
No, it was a child's scooter is what it was. But he's kind of been coming back in slowly but surely. And now that he's fully up to speed, I'm more or less off the tools now. I tend to go off and do the quotes and stuff like that, basically. So,
Are you using one of these like Verpa, Handle It, and Clean Marketing, where they automate the stuff coming in?
I think AI is a good thing, but you can't beat that human touch.
I totally agree.
And the thing is that you've got to understand is that whilst I'm not trying to appeal to everybody, I have to look at my audience. A lot of people that we work for are pensioners, are in the 50s. AI are just 2 letters in an alphabet to them. It's not really something that it's not something that they're really into. I think as time goes by, it's something that definitely is worth jumping on. My mate Jay from ECLM, from Clean Marketing. Sorry, Jay. He's obviously that system there. I think is mustard. It's very good in terms of being able to handle inquiries coming in. But I still think that, I don't know about you, but like whenever you've been on a banking app and you get the chat bot, I'm like, nah, mate, I want to speak to a human being. Yeah. And so the thing is, maybe I'm just being a dinosaur. Maybe I'm old school. I don't know.
No, I think you're right. But I think there's a little bit like if an inquiry comes in at like 11 o'clock at night, you ain't dealing with it because you want to be spending time with your family or you're asleep or whatever.
No, but then I think there are other options, because obviously while people are of an understanding, if they Google estuary cleaning, they'll see that the office hours are between X and Y. They might have an option to send an email. They have an option to send WhatsApp. So there are other avenues. It's not all about engaging with the person there and then. Just they can always reach out to us on WhatsApp, and then we can chase them up the next day or the next morning and stuff like that. And I understand.
I think it's just a speed thing. That if I tried to get in contact with you personally at like 10 o'clock at night, and you didn't answer, I just move to the next person. Because I'm being patient. Right?
That's fair enough. But then,
but you're maybe, like you said, maybe you're not marketing at me. You're 30 something old.
I think the way to look at it is speed does not mean efficient.
No.
Because yes, you can get back to someone quick, but you get back to someone quick and automated doesn't have the same feel as somebody that reaches out and can engage with them organically.
Agreed.
So AI is brilliant, but I think at the minute the limitations are apparent. And I think that if you can be a genuine human being, be a good guy, you know what I mean, and come at something from the perspective of helping someone, it'll beat AI hands down. Quite frankly, that's my opinion on it. I am saying that from the perspective of someone. Obviously now I've got that fourth van, I have a bit more free time to be able to go around during the day and give quotes. So if someone does message me, I think most people understand that you're not reachable 100% of the time. And so the thing is, it's a question of, there's pros and cons to both sides of it. I respect that, but.
And are you stopping at 4? Or are you taking over the world?
I think for me, if we do grow, and it is a big if we do grow, it'll be through acquisition now.
Okay.
I'll be buying other businesses up now. We've bought another business which has enabled me to get that fourth van, to get the workflow, get the cash flow, to be able to scale up again. And I've really seen the value in that now. And I mean, I'm the wrong side of 40 to be doing that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? So if I wanted to grow any more, very sadly, I'm going to have to get the checkbook out and start buying other businesses and stuff like that, and work with banks and finance partners and stuff like that.
Similar. In fact, we spoke to someone yesterday that's got borrowed 65 grand from the bank to plough it all into marketing. And I was like, well, it's going to work, isn't it? If you spend that much money in, but I ain't got the balls to do it.
I think it's a risk for anything, but then saying that, it's like knocking on your door, on the first door for the first time. Is a risk. Buying your first water-fed pole system is a risk.
100%.
Buying your first, insert expensive piece of machinery here is always a risk. It's just a numbers game, isn't it?
Definitely.
So
Great, mate. Thank you very much.
No worries, buddy. Take care.
We'll see you on the pod again. Welcome to another episode of the Dirt Millionaire podcast. I'm here with Tom.
How are we doing, guys?
And he's going to show us something a little bit different.
So I'm gonna.
Down here.
Yes, it's on the floor. But we've got our new Clean Link Thermoflow 2.0, which is our new 10 kilowatt, 2-man diesel water heater.
2-man?
2-man. So you can operate 2 men off this at the same time, and your water will be getting up to 60 degrees Celsius. This is our initial prototype dummy unit, so there's nothing inside it at the moment. But this has
$2 grand or something.
For the actual product when it's in full production, yes. So we've got a brand new stainless steel laser cut folded and welded enclosure, which we've designed from start to finish, myself and John, and that is just giving us enough space to make sure that it's not all packed in, tight, so it's easy to work on. There's plenty of room for everything to be kept cool in the parts that need to be kept cool. So we're using a single 10 kilowatt heater in that, and I'll be 2 moments. Single 10 kilowatt heater with 2 heat exchangers. You've got automatic water recirculation, so it can send water back to the tank whenever your univalve's pulled close. So that will be ready to go from an external fuel tank, all ready to go.
Very nice.
Right. Okay.
No, thanks, mate.
Sorry, buddy.
I'll do an outro.
Busy as anything, as always, but Jim,
appreciate your time.
Always good to see you, buddy.
And if you're not using Clean Link, you're an idiot, because me and Sim and Dave and everybody use Clean Link for all their products, so it's the place to go. Thanks,
cheers, guys.
Right, I'm here at the Clean Expo again, and we are at, where are we at?
This is Jenny Kemp here, chemical manufacturer for just over 40 years now actually, specialising in vehicle, automotive, chemicals, soft washing, janitorial and hygiene, bespoke products as well.
Lovely. And you've got something interesting to show us?
We do indeed, we've got a couple of interesting ones.
Let's do it.
So, the first one I'd like to show here is the black spot remover. Now this is a unique product because it doesn't only have hypo in, it's also got caustic in as well, which is traditionally used in the vehicle automotive industry. However, we've found that as more and more soft washers sort of tend to go towards hypo, whilst it does cover 90-95% of it, you do have the sort of stubborn black spots afterwards. This is when you use the black spot remover for a more concentrated spot clean.
Yeah.
So you apply it neat, let it sit for 15-20 minutes, then rinse it off, and it just finally gets rid of, you know, them last sort of stubborn ones.
Apply it neat.
Yeah, you apply it neat as well. Exactly,
right.
yeah. So it doesn't have to be diluted like you would with your hypo.
Yeah.
Really easy to use as well. Really effective product. Really good.
Put it for an egg jet and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly the same as you would with your hypo.
Yeah, most of the people watching, and the process we probably go through, what we do with my company, you know, with pressure washer or steam clean it.
Yeah.
Put down hypo.
Yes, yeah.
And you're right, like towards the edges and towards the mortar, you get black spots.
Sometimes it's just the real stubborn ones that don't want to go away.
Yeah.
In which case, yeah, the black spot remover would be perfect for that.
Interesting. What kind of price points are they at?
So, 5 litres of black spot remover currently retails for around £18 to £20 plus the VAT.
Yeah.
So it's not going to break the bank as well. And because the hypo is doing most of the heavy lifting, you are only going to need a 5 or maybe a 20 litre maximum.
And you do it in a bigger...
We do indeed, yeah.
Tubs as well, so it's 20 litre tubs over here.
Yeah, exactly. So all of our chemicals, as a manufacturer, we can make them bespoke to whatever you need. So we can do anything from 5 litres to 1,000 litre IBC, whatever you may require.
Lovely. And what's the second one?
So the other one we have here is the patio driveway cleaner. Now this is perfect for composite decking, PVC, UPVC, guttering, rendering, fascias, soffits, anything like that. It's really good for as well. Because when using hypo, you do have to be careful what kind of surfaces you apply it to. And also hypo doesn't always stick as well. If you're using it on the underside of guttering, then it will just run off without as a factor. With the patio driveway cleaner, it is a bit thicker on this as well, so it will generally clean some things better. And it's safe for some surfaces like hypo isn't. So it just fills the gap and fits that niche really.
Because a lot of people use the hypo for the render cleaning.
Yeah.
I've got to use something else for the render cleaning. Have the same effect?
Yeah, hypo can be used for render cleaning. I would just say you have to be very careful when using it because there are sometimes, you know, where you do get adverse effects, especially for like PVC, UPVC, that kind of stuff as well. You do have to be very careful. But the patio driveway fits that niche perfectly.
Awesome. Great. And there's some other stuff that we were talking about yesterday when we came over.
Yes.
My operations manager was talking about the caravan.
The caravan cleaner.
Probably coming up to that time of year as well.
It is indeed, you know, as the weather gets a bit warmer, people want to go outside, go on their caravan holidays. That's sort of, you know, a real fan favourite, I must admit, the caravan cleaner. Do lots of different bundles and deals on it with, you know, different waxes, sprays, etc. It's a perfect formulation because it's non-caustic as well, so it's safe on, you know, the rubber seals around the caravan. And it's also got built-in bactericides as well, because on caravans, you know, you get those green streaks, you get those sort of black spots, and it's not nice to look at. But the caravan cleaner takes it all off, makes it nice and easy.
Awesome. And then I'm putting you on the spot here, but the pallet, you can do stuff on a pallet.
Yes.
Right? So you can send it to me on a pallet, and you can mix and match on a pallet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we were looking, for me, you're looking at doing like four different chemicals.
Yeah.
Hypo, biocide, or back 50, surfactant, and TFR.
Yes, yeah.
You can split that like in 20 litre barrels on a pallet.
Yeah, of course. So when you're ordering a straight pallet of sodium hypochlorite, we would do around 32 units on the pallet. However, if you're going to mix and match, then we can do around 40 units.
Yeah.
So if you want, like you mentioned as well, 15 hypo, 15 biocide, and then a combination of TFR and surfactant, we will come up with a bespoke price for you based on, you know, how often you're taking it, what kind of products you're taking, because we offer, you know, a whole wide range of TFRs as well. Yeah, we ship anywhere within the UK, standard shipping, next day services are available as well. And yeah, we tend to do sort of bespoke quotes based off of that.
But obviously it's cheaper if we're doing mass.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, if you buy, for for instance, like 1 or 2 drums, you're looking at around sort of 28 to 30 pound plus the VAT per unit. If you're going to buy a pallet price, you know, that goes all the way down to 20 or maybe even south of 20 pounds per unit. So you really are dropping your cost by over a third there straight away, and you're going to save money on the other products and shipping as well.
Great. Thanks, Owen.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Stay tuned. Welcome to another episode of the Dirt Millionaire podcast. I'm here with Paul.
Hello.
From Skyvac, and he's going to show something different and interesting that we've not seen before. Hopefully.
Okay. Well, I'm starting to see these out there a lot more as well, but it's just something that I was enthusiastic about for people in roof cleaning.
Right.
Okay. So just imagine then you're up the scaffold and you've got that hose hanging down the side. That's a lot of weight if you're there for all day or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you attach that to your scaff,
that's
great. Attach your pole here. Now all the weight is gone.
Yep.
If you then put your 2 metre line from here into the back of your pole, now you can get on with your cleaning.
Gotcha.
You've got a ball valve, so you can turn it off, take your pole off when you've cleaned and rinsed, put on a trigger gun with an angle on it, and literally just clear out the bottom section, maybe even the gutters on a low pressure clean. So you don't even need to use, dare I say, a vacuum. Okay.
There you say, from Skyvac. You heard it here first. So, you don't need a trigger and you don't need a foot pedal.
I would. You don't need a trigger, but I would actually have a trigger up there,
right? As well.
So when I finish the roof clean, turn this off, disconnect from the back of the pole, connect it into my trigger, and now just clear out the gutters of all the moss. Job done.
Clever.
Saves about 40 minutes on a roof clean.
And I have seen other ones. There's companies here that are doing different ones.
Yeah.
But this is so sturdy. It's a proper bit of kit. It's been manufactured well.
Yeah. Not only that, it's only 75 quid, so it's actually cheaper. That's why I think it's a deal.
Yeah, definitely. I understand what you're saying about the trigger now, because you can't control it from up there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You've got to go down.
So you're just turning it on at the top and then use your trigger.
Spot on.
Great. And that'll go on any scaffold?
It goes on most. I can't say.
I think it'll go on most. They're all pretty universal.
Yeah.
Awesome. Just show us something on a roof clean pole
this
as well.
is a little pet thing of mine. Okay.
Yeah, we like pet things.
Okay.
You're all good. So Paul's going to show us something over here.
So this is a typical thing. You go to the market, you see the pole, and you're assessing which one you're going to buy. And you notice you've got your trigger down here.
Yep.
The reason I like this trigger is it's a quality trigger, but it's very basic. You put it in that position, and to be honest, you're never going to move it from that position.
Yep.
It's a bit like buying a dishwasher with 1,000 buttons.
Yeah,
you only use 2.
Yeah.
So if I were buying a system today, I wouldn't go and spend a lot of money on a fancy trigger. A decent quality one, fine. But then I would get this little device. Inline variable control. It means when I'm up on the scaffold, pulling the trigger, no water pressure is coming through because it's on 0.
Right.
And now I can adjust it and start working without it going up and smashing the tyre.
Gotcha.
And all I'd say to people is, when you're looking at packages, make sure yours has got a decent quality inline variable control.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot don't have them, and some that have them, they're blue and yellow big pieces of plastic from Temu.
Yeah, from Temu. I love a bit of Temu though.
Me too.
But maybe not for something you're going to use on the roof.
No. Yeah.
Definitely. Paul, thank you so much. That was short and sweet and great stuff. Thank you.
Bye.
So we're just in a minute silence for Ryan, but just showing you the quality of these VTUF poles with the clamp. He told me yesterday the price point was about £75 plus VAT per pole. Which is good 20% less than most companies. 25% less than the others, and it's same quality, if not better, I'd say. Show us the clamp itself up there.
So
nicely manufactured.
It's just really simple, really.
Yeah.
Not a lot to go wrong.
No. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
We'll have a look at that little camera thing as well.
So with this, the camera has got a torch as well.
Oh, cool.
It also records, or the monitor records. You obviously stick the monitor down. We could actually show that a little bit later.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's charged up, but there's a little button at the back you press and hold, but yeah, unfortunately it's not charged up. But yeah, quite a useful little tool.
Very neat and tidy little thing. Yeah,
so if you're wanting to use it while you're cleaning or do an inspection afterwards to show your customer what you've done.
Yeah.
It's very versatile.
Awesome. And then we're having a quick look at the hose this end.
So obviously this is your end that goes into the machine.
And this is, I think it's 5 meters that we get standard with.
It's 5 meter standard.
Kit.
I think
this bigger ones as well.
This is actually a 10 meter here.
Right, cool.
The benefit with this hose, it's quite lightweight, very flexible.
Yeah.
It doesn't crack because it's made out of virgin material.
Okay.
So you can actually just,
look at that.
It'll just keep its shape. So it's value for money, but it lasts.
You saw that? That was really cool. Can you do that again?
Yeah,
That
sure.
was wicked. Yeah. Very versatile.
So the virgin material means it doesn't have a memory, and we use that on all of our machines as
Awesome.
well. Unless we say recycled material.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us a couple of the other bigger ones? Yeah.
I'll show you the clips on here as well.
Sorry, lads.
Just to prolong the virgin material.
Yeah, cool.
With the clips, that's what virgin material does. It maintains its shape, and then you can just.
I don't know if we can show that on the camera, but that's plastic, but virgin material plastic, yeah. But that is bending the actual joint there. That's really clever. You're not going to struggle to break that, in you.
And then it's still.
And yesterday, Graham, my operations manager, just loved the solidness of where the hoses go in and stuff like that. Thought that was really smart. So what motor's on something like that?
So that's a twin motor, 1750 watt again.
Yep.
So the same motor as that was on the small one.
Okay.
The reason why we don't go for a 3 motor is because then you've got 3 motors to change down the line.
Yeah.
So similar price point to begin with.
Yep.
But less maintenance costs.
But I find a lot of people in our industry use the bigger ones.
Yeah.
Because they think it's bigger and better, but.
I suppose if you're doing a lot of commercial, bigger jobs, I don't know if you need the bigger tanks.
But that's the difference. It's just bigger tank because the motor is adequate enough in the little ones.
Down to this one.
Yeah.
That's where you got the twin motor, and then you got the single motor just because it's not wide enough.
Yeah.
But it's.
And then it goes right up to this very industrial. That's a big boy, that is, isn't it?
Yeah, and this one's got the puncture-proof wheels on it.
I like all the yellow as well. It's my company colours. Yeah.
Some people like
big old drain valve on there as well, isn't it?
That's it.
Yeah, man.
It comes as standard with the basket inside for the leaves.
Gotcha.
So that's why we put that drain valve on. It's just a little bit more industrial.
Awesome.
Just going to give you that extra life. The wheels on the front, some people like it because you can pull the machine along and it doesn't topple over. So that's why we've got this back to front design as well.
Great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was short and sweet. We've sampled a few things. Just wanted to say the quality of VTUF. You're arriving in the big boys now. I'm going to take over. Is that what
we are the big boys, aren't
we? You are the big boys. You've got to keep going. Great, so stay tuned. The discount code we'll put, it'll be running after the show for a little bit, I'm guessing.
2 days, yeah.
2 days. No, I put you on the spot there. Get involved. 20% off on that discount code online. This is it, Expo 20. Lovely. Thanks, mate.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that.
Lovely.
Cheers.
Come round there. Shall I come round there with you?
Of course you can, mate.
Oh, fat boy getting through the little gaps.
Great to meet you though as well,
man.
Great to meet you, kid. Yeah.
Jim spent some money with me yesterday. Yes, Darren. Yeah, mate. Thank you.
If there's some things wrong or we got mixed up because he just went mad.
There was lots.
Just give us a message and we'll sort it out.
You should keep that on the camera. I spent lots and lots of money with Darren yesterday. Lots and lots of money. So Darren, introduce yourself and what we're going to look at some stuff.
You certainly are, yeah. Hi guys, my name's Darren at DA Components. Been doing water-fed accessories for traditional, a little bit of traditional, but it's mainly water-fed pull for professional window cleaners.
Great. So what are we looking at today?
So
a little bit different.
So what we're looking at today, we've actually got the Edge range. We've been doing it for about 18 months now to 2 years.
Yep.
And we've actually got some mini brushes, and they're all on a quick release connection.
Yep.
So you can have it on a normal version of. You get round Juliet balconies, you can spin it round and get it in there. And also you can add jets to the range, fan jets or pencil jets or four-way jet. With little mini brushes, I always recommend to use fan jets because it gives you that little bit of oomph.
Yep.
The most popular one is the black one, which is the flocked one. But we do it in a medium stiff bristle. And then you have a mini yellow one, scrub brush. Fantastic for the solar panels.
Right.
When you're coming down to the solar panels, you get where the framework's made, a load of like soil in there, a load of shine. And that yellow brush is absolutely phenomenal with a brush. So I'm just going to show you the pole, how it's all set up.
Yep.
So this is a little pole here. So you have a standard quick release connection, and then you have your angle adapter here. And the teeth are all generic across the the industry. So now you can unclip that and take that off.
Yeah. Take all the weight away.
You can take the weight away, but then you've turned it round because there's an angle in here, which is like, I called it the DA multi-tool years ago, but now it's a DA multi-tool quick release if you really wanted to. So now if you turn that off, this is quite tight because it's brand new. So now you've got two versions of it. You've got a thinner one here if you want to get it close to the sill. Or if you want to get it over the sill, you could possibly use that. We are making extendables, which is longer goosenecks. So then you can have like any augmentation you want, because when you put your brush on, don't know if anybody's seen it, but we have a swivel here now, and then the brush actually swivels. So you can have that locked off.
So what's the main purpose of these, you think, for like guttering?
I think the main purpose of the mini brushes is mainly for guttering and just another choice for window cleaners, to get around the brackets and stuff. And they're very good for the fascia boards. And I think the black one here actually gets a little bit further under because it's smaller.
That's what we use it for, but just for, I wanted you to say it, but that's exactly what we use it for.
Yeah, I think it's going to get like a bit further underneath
underneath your gutter if you just run it along that line, it gets right down the back of the gutter. Yeah,
it gets right under the back of the gutter, and if you can't get past there, I think I'll just step away and I'll get it.
Stay tuned.
I think when I first seen this, it's a 6-inch handy sleeve. Any cloth sticks to it. I get a cloth. It's a sleeve, and it's a 6-inch handy sleeve. It's velcroed on. Now,
clever.
And then it's a swivel, but it's a cone tip, so it has to be pushed on. That's the only thing. But with it being like that, that lid we've just been talking about, there's no reason why you can't undo this, take the end cap off and squash that, put it back on, put your cloth over the edge of there, and that there will be enough to get behind the back of there. How's that?
Very clever.
Isn't that a good one? So, that's the accessories that DA Components do, and I'm always thinking of the next best thing, but hey-o, let's see what happens.
I'll go put you on the spot now.
Go for it.
But something that we bought yesterday, I've got a big solar panel contract.
Okay.
National solar panel contract, right?
Yes.
And I bought lots of these. I was going to say hundreds, but it wasn't hundreds. lots of these. So explain to me what the viewers what that is.
Okay. The best thing about the stainless steel pad holder is not grade. It doesn't scratch any surface. With it being stainless steel, it doesn't rust. Okay. So it's a longevity. And then the great thing about the stainless steel pad holder, it gets the lichen spores off the solar panels without scratching it. Now, the great thing about the stainless steel pad holder, if you have it additional with the Tucker Alpha scrubber, now the Tucker Alpha scrubber comes with 10 white pads like that, and it has an over rinse bar, and it also has a swivel, and you can adjust the swivel to tighten it, and you also have the pivot. Now, if you introduce the DA multi-tool in there, and you lock that in, you're cleaning away, you've got the over rinse bar with loads of water, turn the univalve off, agitate, turn back. But now, what we could introduce with this stainless steel pad holder, there's no reason why you can't just take the thread off, because all the thread's like old stuff now, isn't it?
Right.
There's no reason why you can't. Oh God.
Use on a quick release.
Put a quick release socket on there.
And
then you can use my attachments for that.
Nice.
So that's another addition. And last but not least, can anybody remember the good old bronze wool back in?
Didn't used to look like that though.
10? No, it didn't used to look like that. It wrapped round it, but it's still the same quad zero. This might be back, so be prepared.
Definitely.
How's that?
Great stuff.
Excellent.
Thank you, Darren.
Nice
really
to meet you, Jim.
appreciate it.
And we'll speak soon.
Definitely.
Cheers, buddy.
I just have 2 more minutes of your time as well.
Of course you can, mate. Yeah.
So.